another new drama that started this week. Also on Monday, or was this on Tuesday?
Oh, you did. That was the one thing I didn't put in
Oh
there.
no, sorry. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
Hang on.
Let's wait for the
Tuesday.
magic.
This is alright.
Tuesday. This was a drama, a three-part drama that we've been talking
No!
about. All
Oh, I
the
didn't
time.
get to put that in either.
What? It is a three-part drama.
Eight-part drama.
Eight-part? Flaming heck! Dear me, this is going to.
What?
Sorry.
What made you think it was 3?
Well, they went so quick in the first episode. Anyway, we'll come on to that in a second. Starring James Nesbitt, the actor, The Missing started this week. Now, this is, I suppose what I should call this is very McCann-esque. Would that be Madeline McCann-esque drama? I think it would be fair to say that it's inspired or...
It's certainly a poor advert for Thomas Cook Holidays, is all I can say.
Well, yeah, and the World Cup.
Or for France
now,
in general.
It
Just never
stars
go to
James
France.
Never, it's why I say never go to France. Yeah. Hello to our French listeners. James Nesbitt plays the father, and Frances O'Connor plays the mother of the young child who goes missing. We're doing this in flashbacks, which I know Luke loves. So we're getting a little bit of what happened leading up to and following the disappearance of the son, and we're also following both the father and mother in their new lives. The father who really can't seem to move on and is still going around looking for his son, and the mother who's recently just got remarried and moved in with her now second husband and their young boy as well.
Let's just talk about that thing you said I hate about the flashing forwards and backwards. How did you feel about that, Gary? Because I know it's one of my peeves.
I'm not too bad with it. I mean, I remember the what was the show that starred both Rupert Penry Jones and the other guy off Silk?
Last Weekend. Last Weekend.
Yeah, the Lost Weekend. The Last Weekend. That jumped all over the place.
Yeah, but it had Sean Evans like doing the narrative. So well, that's right there in a way.
All right. So it didn't bother me. How? Come on then. Did it bother you?
Yes. Oddly,
surprise.
Just because I don't know whether it added anything. I just like, starting at A and finishing at B.
Yeah.
Or Z. I don't know why they feel that it's such an annoying
because
thing.
If it had started with the boy going missing and then it was sort of... I don't think it would have been good if it was just a linear drama. Because I think part of the drama of it comes from the surprises that you get. For example, the fact that the mum's new husband or partner was the police officer on the original case. And you wouldn't have got to that until, way down the line.
I felt they did very well with the characters. And as you say, by showing the backstory, you were instantly aware of who these people are, the hotel owners, the investigator that they met.
Yeah. And
so
they're two different guises, in the present day, the detective, he
all
doing his beekeeping now, but he couldn't stop sort of looking at the evidence and trying to reinvestigate the case. And I think seeing these two different, the timelines of these characters, I think this worked more. And I know, Luke, you have this problem with starting in the middle of an episode, like, for example, The Driver, and that was sort of detrimental, I think, to the narrative. The fact that this goes back and forwards throughout, I didn't have a problem with. I think if it was just one scene out of place and then into the rest of the episode, I could have seen your point. But this is two different timelines, and I think it works because of the way they've structured the story. One thing I wanted to ask Gary was, what did you think of the fact that they had like subtitle sections of this? Obviously,
well, it's a very good point that you were going to make. But what I really enjoyed was that you had subtitles when it was important to the plot, and then at times you didn't have subtitles when you were with James Nesbitt in the now, when he was in the woman's house at the end, when he was trying to understand. So although he has picked up a lot of French in his years being over there, this woman was explaining things that he didn't understand, and the constant way he was going, what is she saying? What is she saying? It built that drama and the tenseness and his anxiety and nervousness about wanting to hear news after so many years of inactivity. But I thought it was very good. I didn't mind the subtitles.
The other thing about this is it sort of in France almost becomes a character. because it's such a small community. You know, if this happened in, say, Paris or somewhere like that, it wouldn't be as big a deal. But because it's this small town, who obviously had this massive media focus the first time around, they are all quite sceptical of him showing up again and, like, you know, harassing the locals and stuff like that. And the fact that they're now going to reopen the case, you know, because you've seen what's happened in the past, I think it helps you to understand everybody's feelings in the present scenes.
I've always liked James Nesbitt, and it's nice to see him with something where he can really get his teeth into it. And my thing about the flashing backwards and forwards is it took me a while to connect with anyone. Because it started with James Nesbitt walking round the town and looking all forlorn, and his life had quite obviously gone, you know, to nothing. But it's very hard to connect. If you'd have seen that gradual decline, you would have thought, well, look at the man he was, and then look at the man he becomes right from the beginning. I don't know. Maybe it's just my thinking.
But that then you wouldn't have got that to like Ep 6 or something. You know, I think the way they've done it, I think by the end of Ep 1, you understood it though, didn't you? You didn't have to wait an entire series to get it. You were in by about half an hour in. I get that you didn't get that instant thing, but you wouldn't have got that anyway until towards the end of the series.
What they've done as well is they've been very clever. The journalist character at the moment seems rather nasty. You don't relate to him, but I'm guessing that at some point he's going to be useful, because I mean obviously there's someone else who's investigated the case, looked into it. I would imagine that early on there's that initial kind of like, you know, maybe the reticence to talk to the press, but then he probably cajoled them, and you can tell there's been friction because, you know, when him and the mother, Frances O'Connor's character, met in the cafe towards the end, there's a very big tension. You know, he's very, you know, why do you want me? You know, come on, what am I going to get out of this?
And there are a couple of characters as well who haven't actually appeared yet. There are reading through the press notes and stuff. There are a couple of central characters who don't crop up until several episodes into it, which I think because it's 8 parts, I think that allows them to do it.
Some people were comparing it to Broadchurch, which was also an 8-part. Did you feel that? Did you feel you were watching something special?
No. I think it's different. I think it's because obviously Broadchurch was about the community and the This is more. I think this is more about the emotional aspect of a father who sort of lost everything, and this is the last thing he's clinging on to.